Hello guys, and welcome to day 73 of our 365 Days of Courage, where we always try to encourage one another every day for a year. We look for verses in the Bible that assure us not to be afraid, to fear nothing, and to take courage. So, ang courage verse natin sa araw na ito is taken from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43 verse 5, at ang sabi doon, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bring your children from the east and gather them from the west." Now, itong chapter na ito sa libro ng propeta Isaiah talks about the dispersal of the children of Israel. Yung bang nahiwa-hiwalay sila dahil they were taken as captives by different kingdoms. And so, kaya may mga nakapunta sa east and then sa west, and some may be in the north and in the south. So, hiwa-hiwalay. They are scattered. And they felt defeated. And so, here comes God saying through the prophet Isaiah na huwag daw silang matakot because they may be scattered all over the other countries, but God will gather them. He will collect them from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, or wherever they may be, and He will build them up again and make them prosperous once again. At itong pangako ng Panginoon na ito talks about an exhibition of great power. Kasi, how can God gather all these Israelites who were scattered in different countries, in different kingdoms? How can He bring them all together again, back to the promised land, and build them up again, and make them prosperous once again? Ibig sabihin, kailangan mo ng power. But then God is so powerful, because in our first reading today, taken from the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verses 13 to 20, sa part naman na ito, sa ating first reading sa araw na to, this is where God introduces Himself to Moses through the burning bush. Diba? Kinausap niya si Moses at sinabi niya na bumalik ka doon sa Egypt. Remember, Moses fled from Egypt because may ginawa siyang krimen. So, sabi niya, bumalik ka doon sa Egypt, tell the people of Israel na narinig ko yung kanilang mga dalangin, yung kanilang mga dasal, yung kanilang mga cries for help, and I will rescue them. I will free them from the Egyptians. You go to the Pharaoh and tell him kung anong dapat niyang gawin, that he will let my people go so that they will worship me in the desert. And siyempre itong si Moses, sabi niya, sinong sasabihin ko na nagpapunta sa akin dun? What shall I tell them who ordered me to say these things? At dito nagpakilala ang Panginoon kay Moses at sabi niya, sabihin mo na ang pangalan ko is I am. So, God introduced Himself to Moses, telling him that His name is I am, and further instructing him na ipakilala ni Moses ang Panginoon sa mga elders and leaders of Israel back in Egypt. So, yung pagpapakilala ng Panginoon na ito, saying His name, is the same as God's introduction of Himself and of His power sa courage verse natin sa araw na ito by saying na, I will gather your children from the east and from the west, and they will once again be prosperous as a nation. Are your plans shattered and scattered? Naranasan mo na rin ba yung parang everything is breaking down? Diba? You cannot put them all together. Yung mga plano mo sa buhay, yung mga gusto mong gawin sa buhay. Do you feel defeated right now? Do not be afraid. Learn from God's promise to the Israelites when He said our courage verse sa araw na ito, saying, do not be afraid because I will be with you. I will gather your children from the east and from the west, and will make them prosperous again. Therefore, kung sa panahon ngayon, nararamdaman mo na parang magulo ang buhay mo, your plans are not adding up, your dreams are being shattered, remember God's words through the prophet Isaiah when he said, "Do not be afraid." Bakit? Because God is also with you. Just like when he was with the Israelites during the prophet Isaiah's time, and just like when he was with the Israelites when they were about to leave Egypt because pinakawalan na sila ng Pharaoh. He will pick you up in your shattered dreams. He will collect them from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, and he will build you up again, and you will again be prosperous. So do not worry and do not be afraid, guys. Just like the scattered Israelites, he will also gather all those broken dreams, those shattered plans that you have, and build you up once again. He made Israel prosper once again from their captivities, and thus he will also do that to you. So do not worry, guys. Do not be afraid. So kung nakakaranas ka ng ganitong mga sitwasyon kung saan parang lahat hindi na umaayon, lahat parang malas na lang, huwag kang mag-alala. God is also with you. Just like when he was with the Israelites back then during the time of the prophet Isaiah, and back then during the time of Moses when he was able to deliver the Israelites free from the Egyptians, when he was able to collect and gather all his children once again and build them up from their captivities, from their losses, from their defeats. He will also do the same to you. Hang on. Ibig sabihin, kapit lang. Sa ngayon, you may feel down, but God will lift you up. God will elevate you. Hintayin mo lang yung panahon na yun. And God is asking you to trust Him right now. Trust Him. Even if you don't feel na may nangyayari, trust Him. In due time, you will look back and say, buti na lang. Buti na lang kumapit ako. Buti na lang hindi ako bumigay. Buti na lang nagtiwala ako sa mga salita at pangako ng Panginoon. And so that is what He is asking you to do right now if you are on your lowest level. Okay? So do not be afraid. Do not worry. God will be with you, and He will gather all those scattered dreams and plans that you have, and He will build you up again and make you prosper once again. Magtiwala lang, guys. Alright? So once again, guys, thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching. I hope you still tune in tomorrow for day 74 of our 365 days of courage. Bye, guys. Ingat.